case you forgot, like I did, make sure that you are adding your edge coat to your strap anchors. Don't forget. It just dawned on me that I probably could have just done these strap anchors the same way that I did the bottom strap anchors, which is just one piece folded in long edges. I think that that would have been just fine to do. I'll have to try that on my next one. I'm just so accustomed to doing this for all of my straps on every pattern. Okay, so now we are to the point where we need to prep our top zipper for the exterior. And so what I'm going to do is add just one piece of cork here to seal this end off. And then on this end, I'm going to be using a zipper cap to finish it. So I'm straying from the pattern slightly here. But so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out a piece of cork to go there on the end. I'm going to do 5/8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5/8. So I'm just cutting a long strip here. And you can see I've already taken off this top edge or this bottom edge, the teeth, to allow room for me to sew this down. So I'm just going to put a little piece of double stick tape here. And then being careful that your teeth are together enough. Like you don't want there to be a gap here. You're going to stick that piece of cork down, and what it's going to do is encase this bottom edge here. And I'm not worried about having it wrap around to the bottom. I'm just going to leave it right on top. There we go. And then now I can trim that down. And then on this end, I'm going to add my zipper pull before I move on, so that way I know that my zipper tape is not going to be all cattywampus. So I'm going to zip it all the way, just make sure. All right, that looks good. So now what I can do is I'm going to go to the machine and I'm just going to stitch right down this edge here, being sure to backstitch well to where the teeth would be. There we go, that's what it looks like. Okay, so now we need to finish off our zipper, so I'm just going to add a piece of tape on the wrong side of the zipper here. And then just like every other zipper end piece that I put on, I'm just going to wrap and enclose the teeth and then slide it into here. There we go. And then now we need to secure it with the screw. Okay. And now we are ready to attach it to our exterior and lining, making a zipper sandwich. I'm going to start on my front panel. And so I want the zipper to start on my left side. So I'm going to clip it. Actually, I'm going to use a little bit of tape. This really thin tape here. I'm gonna do it from 1.5 inches in to 1.5 inches out, and then I'm gonna let it trail off. And so it's really important, you want this to be as straight as possible. So take your time and line up your raw edge of your zipper tape to the raw edge of your exterior. And then we're going to repeat that with our lining. But the trick on this one is you don't want to, or you want to leave this tail off back here. And then because the wax canvas doesn't really like to stick to this tape, I am going to toss a couple clips just to keep everything secure. All right, so then now I'm gonna go sew it, and I'm just gonna be careful once I get to this edge here. I'm gonna pull the zipper down and out of the way. All right, so since I'm already over here and I want to top stitch, I'm gonna just do that now. So I'm just gonna pull back and I'm gonna finger press with this folded edge and the zipper, the sandwich, I'm gonna fold it back toward the exterior, and that's all I'm gonna top stitch through. I'm not gonna top stitch through my lining here. So working with the side leather, I'm going to extend my stitch length again. I'm gonna pull it back out. I'm gonna set it at 5. I normally sew with a 4. And there we have it. So just the exterior is top stitched, and then this is what the inside looks like. And so now before we go too much further and I forget, I'm gonna add my tag, and she suggests doing it near the bottom, or you could do it on the side over here. So I'm just gonna do it, put a little piece of double stick tape on here. So I'm gonna center it. Oops. Hopefully that didn't mess up my edge coat there. And I'm gonna put it up 2.5 inches. No, I'm gonna scoot it down a little more to 2 inches. There we go. So now I'm just going to pop to the machine. I'm going to stitch this on. Be right back. So I just realized I never did trim this pocket. So I'm going to go ahead and do that because I will forget. And now we just need to repeat those steps for the remaining exterior and lining. and create another zipper sandwich on this side. Oh, I never did trim this one either. All right, so repeating those steps, I'm just going to take my double stick tape, start it at 1.5. Sorry about the dog barking, if you can hear that. Okay. And so when you sew this edge, as long as you're sewing with a 1/4 seam allowance, you won't be sewing over the tape, which is nice. Then you don't have to worry about it messing up your needle. So let's go top stitch this into place. So because my zipper starts on this end, I'm going to gently pull it away from the seam line while I'm stitching. Pull my zipper head out of the way. Come on, you. Alright, if it's being a pain in the butt, just stop your stitch line and then you can just back stitch over where you stopped at. Okay, and then same thing like before, we're going to flip just the exterior and top stitch it down. Not stitching the lining. Okay, so you can see the bag is really starting to come together. We are getting close. So I'm just gonna pop the zipper open a little bit. And what we need to do is we're gonna sew just the exteriors together and then just the linings together. And so I'm gonna be careful to line up these top edges here before clipping around the rest. Tuck your zipper out of the way if you did it the way that I did it. So there we go. Everything should be meeting up nicely here. Oh, I just realized I forgot to cut out of wax canvas the bottom, the base. So I'm gonna have to do that before we finish the next step. So now we're just going to go and sew down the whole right and left sides here. Some stitches here because it was wanting to skip as I was sewing up and over the side seam.